Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Okay, let's look at the next series that happened real quick. The Clippers, the next series. Yeah, the next series with the Clippers and the Nuggets. They're tied 1-1. We had the Nuggets win that overtime game in game 1. And then in game 2, where Russ got that big steal. And then in game 2, Kawhi Leonard had a just roll back the clock 2019 Raptors moment where he just dominated everything. Was 15 of 19, 39 points with 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Just a beast of a game. What are some of your takeaways from this series so far? Maybe just go with one and we can just let it flow from there.
Well, one, that Kawhi game was incredible. And it has to
Incredible.
be incredibly frustrating to cover a dude who doesn't create a ton of separation, but he's just so tall and he's got a high release and he just keeps, you know, banging those long, those mid-range shots. And you're like, gosh, it's fun to watch, but it has to be irritating.
Did you see there was like 2 or 3 shots that he made that like you if the people guarding him, there would be 3 people around him, and like the people guarding him, if they're just a little quicker jumping or whatever, they probably block the shot or whatever. But he's just so good, he doesn't care. He doesn't let any of that affect him. I just amazing. That's why he's like my second favorite player in the NBA right now. So
My, my takeaway from these first two games, though, would be Zubac is really good. And
mm,
obviously no one has Jokic figured out, but Jokic doesn't do much in the paint with Zubac around.
well, he's a big dude. Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, like a lot of guys, he still goes down there. In this game, he was just relegated to 8 threes. Half of his shots were threes. Like I know he shot 4 of 8, but that's a win.
Yeah.
Pushing him out on the floor. So Zubac has been really good. He's got that floater. He gets high enough, to put in some tip dunks in that. But I've been really impressed at how he seems to have really studied Jokic and stays down, doesn't commit dumb fouls, just little things like that.
Yeah, there's very few people that can handle Jokic, I think, the way Zoo does, because Zoo is not only tall but thick. He's like thick, so he can match him. Yeah. Yeah, he's been very good for the Clippers this series. The other big takeaway I think from this series is Jokic is basically averaging 28, 10, and 10. And it's just again, it's kind of the honest situation where you shouldn't be losing these games with such a great performance by your star, but there's just not enough of help around them. The first game it was Michael Porter Jr. I think had like one basket the entire game. Um, and then in this game it was just like, let's see here, like you get 5 from Christian Braun. You need a little bit more from him. I mean, if you're relying on Christian Braun, maybe you're in trouble anyway. But like, I don't know. It's just it's tough because he needs a little more help off the bench. Russ had a pretty solid game, but he's taking shots that the Clippers want him to take. So I don't know. He just needs a little more help. He needs someone to be a little bit more consistent.
Yeah, and I think he pressed. What did he have? 7 turnovers in this game.
Yes, yes.
Um,
Well, the
he
Clippers did
you
a
could
really
tell.
good job of like doubling at the right time. But go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I felt like especially towards the end, he had a couple. He threw one over Aaron Gordon's head, and then he put up a shot. I think he didn't think the shot clock reset, or just like some weird. You don't usually see that from him, but I think it's the pressure of the Clippers defense and him knowing um, there's not a lot of options.
Hmm.
And also, I think he played 43 minutes again. When you have to play that much and do everything, it's really hard. And you can see it on the defensive end. Like there's been other people who have said it. Like his defense in these first two games hasn't been good, but it's hard to play good defense when you bring the ball up. You're standing at the top. You're directing things. You're getting rebounds. But he felt flustered in this game, and I think that's the length of the Clippers, strategy they have, but also the limitations of his role players. And maybe he'll figure it out more. The Clippers might have to switch it up because he's a smart guy and he might be able to better time when these doubles come. But again, it's just uncharacteristic game from him in game two.
Yeah, I think they sat him, and once they sat him to rest, they had like an 8 point lead or something like that, and then it was like a quick 6-0 run, like just without Jokic out there, their offense couldn't do anything, which is so funny because with Jamal Murray, you think that he's proven to be good enough at times where they should be able to survive 5 minutes without Jokic. Um, Maybe it's the lack of a center, which I think like if you really, I thought they brought in someone, Saric. Well, I don't know. I thought they brought in someone in the offseason that could take some minutes away from Jokic, but apparently they didn't because you still dragging DeAndre Jordan out there. And I think that's part of the frustration is like you have a guy like Michael Porter Jr. who's either going to have 5 points or 14 points. He showed up in the second game. We'll give him credit. Like he effort everything there. But it's just like, man, you could have really used a backup big, somebody that could take some pressure off of Jokic for 10 minutes in a game. That's all you needed, but you don't have that.
Yeah, I mean, even if they had Ben Simmons,
Yeah,
at least made a layup in this game, but just someone that could handle the ball or do something, because you're right, DeAndre Jordan draws dead right away in these games, like especially with that Clippers defense. So it's going to be an uphill battle for him, and we keep saying it. If the Clippers can stay healthy, they should probably be up 2-0 in this series.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Okay, so we picked this. You had the Clippers in 7. I had the Nuggets in 7. You still comfortable with that pick for yourself?
Yeah, I feel fairly confident in the Clippers at this point. Like they are really relying a lot on Westbrook, and he's come through. Probably about as best as you can expect Westbrook to come through for.
Yeah, I agree.
But you know how that goes. Now they're going to go on the road, and if he has one of his 0 for 6 from 3 games, and he's they had 19 bench points, and he had 14. So if he has an off game, which is weird to say that the Nuggets are dependent pretty much on Russell Westbrook being able to put in 15, 20 points, I think the Clippers are in good position.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna stick with my pick. I'm a little bit, but part of my pick was I want to see it from Kawhi, and man, he's been so good. I just want him to stay healthy. He's broken. He has broke my heart too many times for me to just be like, trust me, bro. Like there was that. If you want to go back and just watch the series against the Suns, 2 or 3 years ago when they played that first round series with the Suns, and the Clippers were up 2-1, and Kawhi was kind of doing it with a bunch of role players. I think Paul George was out that series. And then game 3 into game 4, we found out he had was having problems with his knees, and he never came back. It's like, that's what I'm worried about. So it's not like we've never seen Kawhi do this, like carry teams the way he is right now. It's the fact, can he last? And I'm still kind of, what's it called? I'm timid to accept that.
Well, starting game 3, because they have the extra day off, but then game 3, 4, 5, 6 are all every other day. So if you have to play 40, 43 minutes, it might be, he seems healthy, but it might be tough to stack 40 points, 40 minutes in 4 straight games with only 1 day in between.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you there. Yeah, and that's why I'm nervous. That's why, right there. Okay, let's move on to the best series that's happening right now. Maybe the second best. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X, and we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.